right, we have the second Nigerian representative, Dr.
You will doubtedly recall that under the first-term administration of President Muhammadu Buhari and the 8th National Assembly, the Not Too Young to Run bill was passed by the legislators and signed into law by the president. As a direct consequences of this law, we have seen a well-enhanced number of young Nigerians emerging from the last general election into public political leadership, particularly in the legislative arms of federal and state government. Today, we have a 31-year-old as Speaker of Zamfara State. We have a 32-year-old as Speaker of Oyo State House of Assembly. We have a 33-year-old as Speaker of Plateau State House of Assembly and 34-year-old as Speaker of Kwara State House of Assembly. Consequently, it is the thinking of the leadership of the African Union Economic and Social Cultural Council and the National Youth Council of Nigeria that the manifest first lap successes of the Not Too Young to Run law be further consolidated by the deliberate youth political participation policy at both the state and the federal level. As you well aware, a core objective of the Not Too Young to Run movement is to orchestrate the direct hands-on practical mentorship and successive activation of future leadership of the incumbent leaders. It is on this note that the National Youth Council of Nigeria is proposing for President Muhammadu Buhari, as he commences his second term, the following. 1. That the President appoint a youth between the age of 18 and 35 as Minister for Youth and Sport Development. That the Minister of State, that is the junior ministers, be reserved for the youth of Nigeria between 18 and 35 years old. 3. That state of emergency be declared in the education sector in Nigeria for better and more functional education. 4. Aggressive fight against unemployment through infrastructural development at both the federal and state government level, and also supporting the educational sector with funding. And lastly, sustain the ongoing Empower and other social welfare program for the Nigerian youth. We are also appealing to the 9th National Assembly, especially her leadership, to see the executive arm of government as partners in the development of Nigeria, even as they maintain the constitutional provision for separation of powers and functions more seriously than ever before. Specifically, we are requesting the following from the 9th National Assembly. The creation of National Youth Council of Nigeria as an act of parliament. It will interest you to know that as of today, the National Youth Council of Nigeria is operating as a mere NGO with a CAC certificate. So we are appealing to the National Assembly to see an immediate creation of the National Youth Council of Nigeria as an act of parliament. Secondly, we are appealing that the National Assembly, in the discharge of their duty, make more budgetary provision for the educational sector in Nigeria. We are also appealing that during the passage of the budget, especially the 2020 budget when it will be forwarded, that the National Assembly do make increased budget for the Ministry of Youth and other youth intervention programs. Finally, we are appealing that juicy committee head of the legislative arm be also reserved for some youth who are already in the legislative arm of government. These are some of our requests, and we believe that with the cooperation of the National Assembly along with the executive arm, we are hopeful that 2019, and especially this regime, the second time of President Muhammadu Buhari, will witness more progressive and developmental strides for Nigerians, especially the Nigerian youth. Thank you, and God bless you.
Secondly, I will want to call on the president to also do more on the aspect of agriculture. Not just putting money into agriculture, but seeing to the fact that agriculture is where it develops such that Nigeria looks at production across the value chains. And also, climate change is another factor that Nigeria must look into. You know, at times when we talk about climate change, a lot of people seem to limit it. But climate change affects every aspect of human lives. So, as the president is commencing his second term in office, he must ensure that he is appointing someone in the agricultural sector that will give priority to climate change and resilience farming. So that is some of the things we must look into, so that Nigeria also will benefit from some of the some of the activities of the international community on climate change. I think that is some of the things I would just I just add, and also to buttress what the National Youth Council is saying. Nigerian youth are vibrant. Nigerian youth are intelligent. You go outside and see them. The president should give priority to Nigerian youth. Empowerment of Nigerian youth should be sacrosanct under this administration, so that in future the legacy of President Buhari will remain indelible in the hearts of children unborn, because he can only raise a successive leader that will last when he brings youth on board. Because most of those there now, they are like they have their limit, but the youth are those that could help him to achieve whatever he aims to achieve in his administration. And so those are some of the calls. Thank you very much.